been helping enormous number of refugees very well. Okay. Very good. I see some of our honorees joining. Very good. Wonderful. Swati, are you in Delhi now?
I'm in Delhi, yes.
I see. How is the weather? Is it cold?
So today is the first day of spring, Vasant Panchami, if you know.
All right.
Yeah, so it's now starting to get warmer.
I see.
Yes.
Good,
So
good.
it's
Happy Republic Day to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Indeed.
wishing you a very happy Republic Day.
We will start on time. I have 2 more minutes. I'm hoping Manav and others to be able to join. Very good. Very good.
Sir, recording.
Yeah, we need to start the recording. Okay. So if
Hi,
you
yes,
do
sir.
that, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. You have started, Manav?
Hi, sir.
Okay,
Already
good,
started.
good, good. I'm going to also switch on the Facebook recording as well.
Sir, Manav.
Manav has come. Hello there.
Hi, sir.
Safin. Hi, Manav. Good to see you, my friends.
Hello, Dr. A.p.j. Happy Republic Day.
You
To
too
all
have
of
a
you.
wonderful Republic Day, my friend. Let me make sure that I give you the where is
So make sure co-host, sir.
yeah, I'm
Manav.
looking for Manav's name here on the I can go straight here and then go there, right?
Yes.
Make co-host. Yeah. Very good to see you, Manav. How are you, my friend?
All good, Dr. A.p.j. Thank
Hello,
you so much.
Safin. How are you, my friend?
Very well. How are you, Dr. Vijay?
Fine, sir. Where are you now, Safin?
I'm based out of Bangalore in India.
Bangalore. Wonderful, wonderful. Good, good, good. All right. I see. Very good. I see a lot of.
Our future leaders have also joined.
Is Jonathan here yet?
I don't see him, but he would be joining anytime.
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah. Manav, thank you. I saw your note, and as soon as I finish mine, I would request Jonathan to come on and share his thoughts with us. Is it okay? Is that all right?
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much.
I'm very glad that all of you are able to join. That's wonderful. Vinny, I want you to say hello to Manav. He is one of the co-founders, he and Swati of 1M1B.
Hello, Manav. Good to meet you.
Same here, sir. How are you?
And also, Safin, thank you. Good to meet you too.
My uncle waving his hands. Yeah, very nice.
Yes, we have Jonathan there as well now. Yeah.
Jonathan, good morning, good evening, my friend. Good morning, sir. Where are you?
It's a very early morning in New York. Thank you very much, Doctor. Good to
Yes.
see you.
Oh, you are my time then. You and I are in the same time. Okay.
Ah, good. Good morning.
Very nice, very nice. Vinny?
Yeah, should we start?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening and good morning to all over here today. On behalf of the 1B Foundation, Dr. Abdul Kalam Dream Library, and the International We Serve Foundation, I welcome you all for His Excellency Dr. A.p.j. Abdulklam 2023 Youth Volunteer Award. My name is Vinod Venugopal, and I am the chair of the International We Serve Foundation Board of Trustees. On our virtual podium, we have our chief guest, Dr. Kumble Subaswamy, the founders of the 1B Foundation, Mr. Manav Subodh and Dr. Swati Subodh, and also the program director of the 1B Foundation, Mr. Safin Matthew. Dr. M.S. Vijay, founder and president of the International We Serve Foundation, and Professor Sita Subramaniam, member board of trustees of the International We Serve Foundation. Please join me in welcoming all of them and giving them a warm welcome. Also a huge welcome to the youth volunteer awardees, members of the board of trustees, teachers and parents, and honorable guests all over the world who are present today. Today is a special day in as India is celebrating her 74th Republic Day. This morning, there's been a huge parade, fanfare, and Mr. Modi hosted the president of Egypt, Mr. El Sisi. And this was the day that the Indian Constitution was adopted and India became a republic. In honor of the Republic Day, kindly rise as the national anthem is being played.
I'm going to share the screen. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
No, sir.
Huh.
Just to share.
Give me a second. Let me see if I can figure out a way to. My apologies. Why is it not? I'm trying to share the screen, but for some reason it's okay. I say share. Okay, can you?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. I will stop sharing. Okay. Hope that was okay. Did it come through all right? Vinny?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Not really, yeah.
Happy
Good morning,
Republic Day
Dr.
to
Vijay.
all.
This is
So-
Vasant Chandra here.
Oh, hello, Vasant. Welcome. Go ahead, Vinny.
Thank you.
Manav Subodh is the founder of 1M, 1B and a former global ambassador at the University of California, Berkeley's College of Engineering, SCET. With over 22 years of experience, Manav is passionate to leverage digital technologies to provide equal opportunities in education, skill improvement, and entrepreneurship to the youth of India. With a vision to empower 10 million youth and 1 million teachers in the next 3 years, Manav is leading the development of a future-ready technology workforce with support from the Indian government and corporations like IBM, Meta, Adobe, and Microsoft. Manav is passionate about empowering youth to activate their ideas and to get them to reality using entrepreneurial thinking. A series of events, including his experiences with youth during the Arab Spring, inspired Manav to leave his corporate job at Intel Corporation and start 1M, 1B. Manav's opinion articles on the creator economy, youth skills, and metaverse are regularly published in India's leading publications. For his work with youth and rural communities, he's been featured on BBC, Forbes, TEDx, and others. Please welcome Manav Subodh to the podium.
Thank you so much, Dr. Venugopal, and happy Republic Day, everyone. Hello, Dr. Subaswamy. So nice to see you. And of course, Dr. Vijay, thank you so much, and all the dignitaries present here. Happy Republic Day, and what a pleasure to be addressing all of you on this day, talking about some of the work my organization 1M, 1B is doing for young people and at the grassroots of India. So Dr. Vijay requested me that I should present 1M, 1B, past, present, and future. And Dr. Vijay is the common thread amongst all of them. In fact, he's the person I met like way back in 2013 when we were having this idea of starting 1M, 1B. And in fact, I met Dr. Vijay through Dr. Kailash Joshi. And I had this idea that we need to create entrepreneurial youth in the villages of India. And nobody believed me. And I had this idea of setting up a small accelerator in Uttarakhand, where my grandfather comes from. He was a farmer. And when I was leaving my corporate job, I had this urge, and I felt the responsibility to do something in his village. And I went to San Francisco. I was meeting everybody, and then Dr. Kailash Joshi I met, and he said, "We believe you, and Dr. Vijay believes you." And they gave us the first $30,000, which went a long way. And now we are in the 8th year, 9th year. And look, Dr. Vijay, what that small gesture and a big one rather at that time for us did. And thank you so much for your belief and support. And I'm going to be talking to you about very briefly our journey, where 1M, 1B has been. I'm going to be sharing some thoughts around it. And the 1M, 1B basically is the name of the mission as well that all of us are representing, that by 2030, we want to create 1 million people, especially young people in India, who will create impact for 1 billion people, creating a sustainable world. And we believe that if everybody can take care of each other, we definitely need to work in tandem with the governments, with the civil society, with all the large organizations. But what will happen if we have problem solving as a mindset, and if we train our young people not just to take care of themselves and their careers and look for jobs and all the nice things that is happening in India, but also give back right at their early childhood? Can we do that? And that was the vision of 1M, 1B. And we started in Uttarakhand, and the project that Dr. Kailash Joshi and Dr. Vijay supported led us to Andhra Pradesh. And we landed up working with Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, who was the chief minister of Andhra Pradesh at that time. He gave an opportunity for us to work there. And in fact, this was an opportunity that we got through UC Berkeley and the Center for Corporate Innovation at the Haas School of Business. And they appointed me as the Garwood Innovation Fellow to do this project in a village, Mori, with Professor Solomon Darwin. And we did this this project. You know, it was a small pilot, but it landed up in some big impact, that we created 7 entrepreneurs in 6 months, 16 jobs. But we were able to mobilize and get attention of 30 large corporations from India and the US to work with us in creating last mile as a service. How can we use technology to impact billion people? How can we make sure that all the widening wealth gap that we have in India and people who are not part of the digital economy, how can we get them together so that they can benefit out of the huge digital economy that is rising in India today? That was the objective, that how can we create entrepreneurs, freelancers, creators, teachers who can benefit out of the internet technology and create a smart village which has internet technology. And that was the vision. And we also landed up creating an anytime, anywhere clinic, which Swati led, and we were able to provide healthcare services through telemedicine in this village as well. And Swati, and I'm sure Dr. Vijay, you would remember this. This was one of the clinics that we opened, and it benefited a lot of people. And this was a time then I was posting all the impact in social media, and some of my friends reached out and they said, "Hey, can my son and daughter join you? Because you know, all of them were from affluent background. Can they also get to know what India is?" And I landed up putting a small batch of 4 young students, including my own son, who was in 7th grade at that time, that okay, let's do a small village immersion. And that led to a big program that is called the Future Leaders, where we have many young people doing this, not just for the villages of India, but also for their backyards because there's a big part of underserved population, even in the cities. And the next big challenge came to us during the 2020 lockdown, right? When everything was in India, we had the huge migrant crisis. This was probably the biggest lockdown in the history of the world, with so many people were not, we were asked to stay at home, and all of us remember this. And this was a time where we started thinking, how can we do something in this situation? And I remember this famous quote that I was given by one of my mentors, that leaders rise in the time of crisis. And that inspired me and my team that, okay, if this is the time to rise, how can we rise and not just get bogged down by the lockdown? So we mobilized a lot of young people in India, in Bangalore, who were connected to the internet, that what can we do in this crisis situation? And there was this whole migrant who were walking, who had lost their job, who were going back and walking back to their villages. They had no source of income because all of them were daily wage workers. And that's when one of the students came up with the idea that what if we revive some tailoring units in the villages, because there are a lot of tailoring units, and we landed up reviving a few tailoring units. And one of them landed up giving jobs to 200 women who landed up making PPE kits and masks. And this was a time when mask was not available. This was still very early stage, April 2020 lockdown. And a group of young people led by one of my colleague, Abhiram Natarajan, they landed up, creating employment and creating like a back office for PPE development. They landed up manufacturing these PPE kits and started supplying to the hospital. And this got widely covered, got a lot of attention. But more than that, the women there got 8,000 rupees as their monthly salary. And 8,000 rupees is pretty big in a village, especially when they had lost their source of livelihood. So this became like a huge inspiration for us that let's do this much more. And during lockdown, we landed up working with a lot of young people, and you're going to be meeting some of them right now. Some of them are from that lockdown phase. They didn't get stopped during the lockdown. When we thought that young people would be sitting and watching Netflix, they didn't get stopped at all. And of course, they took all the precautions and followed the COVID protocols, but they were out there in the community solving problems. And this was a real test for us. That can we create real problem solvers and just not make them theoretical? Let's just solve this, because now the world was an impact lab. The world was having a situation. All our neighborhoods were having a problem. So a lot of these young people landed up creating impact. And this is a kind of a summary of the work they all did. And some of them will be talking to you very shortly. And, look at the impact. I mean, they raised $95,000 for PPE kits. There were food that they landed up supplying. They made a lot of young women and girls who were out of school. They landed up getting them back to school, because suddenly the school dropout ratio started increasing because many people could not afford the fees of education. And the schools were in lockdown mode. They had no connection. There was no internet. A lot of them landed up giving them, sessions and educating them so that they could not, miss the valuable years of their lives. So this became like a big point for us. And this also encouraged us to grow and grow more. And with this kind of finding inspiration out of this, we landed up saying that, no, we're going to just work with young people and mobilize them at scale to solve real problems of India. And we're going to skill young people to become future-ready problem solvers. Problem solver is a big skill that's required for even jobs of the future. And what if we do problem solving as a skill and impart that over a structured curriculum, which we have over 60 hours of structured curriculum. And then some of these top students get to present their work at the United Nations, where Dr. Vijay was also there in December, where some of these students presented, and some of them will be presenting. And now we have a lot of partners like IBM, Microsoft, Meta, Adobe, and UC Berkeley, amongst others, supporting us and fueling the work that we are doing to create future-ready problem solvers who just don't think about themselves, but also are thinking about the communities that they are serving. They're just not looking at inward their careers, but also looking at careers of others disadvantaged around their neighborhood and in their community. So that's what we are doing. And this is kind of a report card that we have right now. We are also talking to teachers, because you cannot really scale a program unless you also have support of teachers. Teachers play a big role. We have a partnership with this CBSE. We roll out a lot of programs. We train teachers, we train students, and we of course offer these programs equally in the villages where we actually started. And the reasons of our existence is the village where we actually started 1M, 1B. And we are taking the same programs even to the tribal schools. So we recently got into a partnership with the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and we are imparting AR, VR programs. And probably you would imagine, what would tribal students do on AR, VR? But they are having fun with it. They're enjoying it like any of their urban counterparts. And of course, now as we go down more and scale this program to the grassroots, a lot of these students, we are incentivizing them. And of course, United Nations is not a big incentive. A lot of them don't even have their passports. And we are saying, okay, what can we do for you? And they said, sir, give us jobs, give us internships. And we are providing this full program that we are doing through a platform, which is 23 going onwards. And we announced this at the United Nations in December. We are saying that we'll create a largest community of students 14 to 24 years and fast track their careers. Of course, some of them, the top students, will go to the United Nations, will go to Berkeley and go to all the nice organizations which are outside India and institutions. But a number of them, and majority of them, need to have a path to employability, because that's what they need. So we are providing now internships, providing jobs, and enabling through the same curriculum that we have, that we make these youth ready for jobs of the future. But just not make them ready, but also give them critical skills and make them global Indians by giving them the problem solving skills, which is so core to us as an organization. And you will be meeting some of these young leaders who are there today in this event. So again, thank you so much, Dr. Vijay and the VServe Foundation and the board and all of you for sparing your valuable time today and giving us an opportunity to present about the work. And more than that, giving opportunities to the 10 young leaders who are going to be talking to you and inspiring you with the project that they have done. And thank you so much for giving them and recognizing them today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manav Subodh. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the inspiring work that your organization has been doing, and also trying to improve the skills of our youth to become future leaders very shortly. Thank you so much. Our Chancellor, Dr. Kumble Subbaswamy, a native of Karnataka, India, is a seasoned physicist and university administrator. Educated in India and in the US, he received his PhD in physics from Indiana University. He has published extensively in the area of condensed matter and physics, and has been recognized for his work by being elected a Fellow of the American Physical Society. He has served in various administrative roles at the University of Kentucky, University of Miami, and Indiana University, culminating in his current appointment as the Chancellor of the University of Massachusetts, Amherst, starting in 2012. He is widely recognized for his emphasis on excellence, access, diversity, and inclusion. He's a strong advocate for a broad-based education, investment in science-based economic development, and environmental stewardship. In recognition of his work, he is elected a Fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences in 2021. Please welcome Chancellor Dr. Kumble Subbaswamy to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Venugopal, for that kind introduction. And thank you to both the International VServe Foundation and the 1 Million for 1 Billion Foundation for the invitation to participate in this celebration of youth. And more importantly, thank you for the great work that you do to help build a better future for all. As a college professor and a college administrator, it has been my privilege for my entire professional life to be surrounded by youth and young adults. I cannot think of anything more inspiring and more fulfilling than working to empower the future citizens and leaders of the world to be change agents. In my current role as the Chancellor of the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, our youth constantly challenge me to help them make the world better. The most recent example is an effort we have underway on our campus to make the campus entirely independent of fossil fuels, natural gas for the most part, because we stopped using coal a long time ago, to heat our buildings. By the way, we are a 160-year-old institution with a campus spread over 800 hectares and containing 170 buildings ranging in age from 100 years to just recently built. So this conversion to completely renewable resources is no small undertaking. Our state, Massachusetts, one of the most progressive in the United States, has set a deadline of 2050 to achieve the zero carbon goal for the entire state. So I thought I was being really bold by setting a goal of 2040 for our campus to be leaders. Our students started questioning me, why so late? Why 2040? Why not 2025 when we started this conversation? I had the vague notion that that was unrealistic, but really did not have anything to actually back up my belief. So I set up a serious engineering study, including students and faculty, to make an estimate from an engineering and technology perspective of realistically, when was the earliest we could achieve a fully renewable energy future? It turns out that if everything lines up, we could achieve this by 2032, a 10-year time frame from when we began our conversation. So we now have a 2032 goal of becoming independent of fossil fuels by 2032 and working hard to line up the resources necessary. Already, 2 new buildings that we're building actually will have no fossil fuel usage for heating. This is New England, you can imagine. This is no small task. So this, my friends, is the power of youth. Even the most progressive and open-minded adult thinks of limitations first. Why something worthy cannot be done. You, the youth, are not so bounded by prior experience of failure that you don't accept the simple, unsupported answer that something can't be done. I have other examples from my campus. Our students wanted us to support sustainable agriculture in our dining services. They challenged us to maximize our reliance on local sourcing of produce, reducing the carbon footprint of food production. Thanks to their insistence, we now rely on local and regional production for 30% of the produce that we use each year in a region where the growing season is just about 4 months because of long winters. This is the power of youth. His Excellency, the late President of India, Dr.A.p.j.Abdulklam, recognized the power of youth as agents of change, as the basis of hope for the planet's future. He said, and I quote, "My message, especially to the young people, is to have courage to think differently, courage to invent, to travel the unexplored path, courage to discover the impossible and to conquer the problems and succeed. These are great qualities that they must work towards. This is my message to the young people," end quote. All of the individuals and groups being recognized today have demonstrated this capacity to think differently, to find ways to achieve what to many might have seemed hopeless or impossible. Again, to quote Dr. Kalam, "The ignited mind of the youth is the most powerful resource on earth, above the earth and under the earth," end quote. To this group of ignited minds, young and old, I need not preach about not accepting the easy conventional wisdom. You're working to break convention, to not accept limitations unquestioningly. Therein lies the hope for our planet's future, our society's improvement in providing social justice and opportunity to all segments. I want to add one more characteristic of youth, in fact, of babies and toddlers even, that I hope you continue to nurture throughout your life. That is curiosity. If you've grown up with a younger sibling, you may remember the annoying habit of 2-year-olds to incessantly ask why. The child asks, why does it get dark at night? Parent says, because the sun sets out of the sky. Child says, why? Well, the earth rotates on its north-south axis. Why? You know, ultimately the answer comes, I don't know, just go to sleep now. Well, somehow most of us lose that curiosity as we grow older. We stop questioning and we start believing everything we read on the internet or here on TikTok. Learning never stops. Learn to distinguish between mere opinions and evidence-based arguments. Remember that innovation is born out of curiosity and creativity. Finally, remember that achieving anything worthwhile takes dedication, determination, and the ability to take failures in stride and learn from failures. Again, I want to quote the great Dr. Kalam. Quote, if you fail, never give up, because FAIL means first attempt in learning. End is not the end. In fact, END means effort never dies. If you get no as an answer, remember NO means next opportunity. So let's be positive, end quote. I want to conclude by congratulating all the individuals and groups that are being celebrated today for their achievements in helping others, in creating a more just and compassionate society. Keep up the good work and never accept NO for an answer when it comes to building a better future for your community, your country, and the world at large. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this celebration of youth. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Dr. Subaswamy, for that wonderful motivational speech and what you are doing, keeping the power of youth in mind, and also focusing and encouraging students to come up with different ideas for whether it's energy improvement or climate change or other projects that you mentioned. Appreciate your time and effort today. Thank you so much. As the program director at 1M1B, Mr. Matthew Sepfen oversees the conceptualization and management of programs, bringing youth together to achieve the SDGs using age, tool, and technologies. He works closely with global leaders and organizations to mobilize and engage youth for global impact. His passion to propel youth from intent to action has resulted in coaching and mentoring over 250,000 students as part of the 1M1B programs with the help of his team. He's the co-chair of the Youth Representative Steering Committees of the United Nations Department of Global Communication. Mr. Sepfen is also a TEDx curator and believes in the power of storytelling to evoke empathy, drives advocacy, and achieve positive change. Please welcome Mr. Sepfen Matthew.
Thank you so much, and a very happy Republic Day to one and all. I would like to take you through our 10 projects who are being recognized today, which includes 13 students. They've been part of our 1M1B Future Leaders program. Future Leaders is a program by 1M1B where we look at nurturing youth into human-centered leaders. And as part of the program, we provide them with all the new age necessary tools and resources and mentoring support so they can take action on a problem that they have been seeing on a daily basis in the community and really take action to solve it, addressing the UN Sustainable Development Goals. It is a process about 6 to 8 months that they undergo, where there are 3 levels. In level 1, they understand the problem in detail. Why is the problem occurring? What are the different solutions that's existing? What can they do differently? Level 2 is where all the hard work happens. They implement the project, they ideate, they come up with prototype solutions and go out into the community and implement. And what we focus on is that it's not just on paper. You need to go out there, talk to the people whom you're impacting, understand the problem, and make sure it's relevant for them. And finally, we say that in level 3, if you've done all the work, now you've done all the hard work, now it's time you become advocates for the cause and tell the world that this is something you have done. If you as a youngster can do so much impact, imagine all the other youngsters across the world who can get inspired and make a similar difference. So as part of the program, the top students based on the impact are invited for a 3-day complete immersion in New York, where they have an opportunity to learn from the best minds. We have workshops, we have networking mixers, and finally, our one-on-one We Activate Impact Summit at the United Nations, where they present their work. So I have a short video to begin with to show you about what really happens over the 3 days in New York. And there are some fun elements and all the experiences that they undergo. I'll just play this, and then we'll get to the students. And I hope it plays well without any lag.
I judge a lot of startup competitions, okay? I judge for Pharrell's Black Ambition competition. I've done World Startup Cup. So I see pitches all the time. And I have to tell you something. For the age that you are, you did an extraordinary job. So really be proud of yourselves.
Well, just an overview of the 3 days we had in New York last December. And of course, the finally presenting the top students presenting the impact at the United Nations. That's a memorable and proud moment for all of us. Young students representing India, showing the world what youth from India can do. And today we have, and a big thank you to the WeServe Foundation for recognizing these youngsters, 10 projects that have been identified as special recognition winners. So we have the 10 of them, 10 projects here, which is 13 students. And now let's listen to each of them one by one. They'll each do a quick 2-minute presentation to you to tell you about what is the problem they're addressing and what's the impact they've created. So with that, let me begin calling on the students. We'll start with Alankrita first. Alankrita, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alankrita and I study in the 12th grade. And I started my initiative, Project Echo, when I was in 2021. And I started off because I realized that as someone with hearing impairment, there was a lot of things that educational institutions could do to help me out on my journey. And I also realized that children with hearing impairment weren't usually as privileged as I have been. I wanted to do something about this, and so I started Project Echo. My goal was to help hearing impaired children between the ages of 5 to 18 from schools in Bangalore have their hearing loss detected in time and help them lead normal lives. The work I've done as a part of this was I started off with doing workshops for teachers, and I covered workshops which were working with an audiologist, and what the teachers learned in this was how to deal with children who had hearing impairment and how to help them out. And as well as that, we also focused on how they could identify these children. So this was focusing on teachers who were teaching primary and pre-primary students, and over 50 teachers were educated on this issue. After that, I started raising funds, in which I raised over 1 lakh, and these were used to fund hearing aids for children in studying in the Deaf Aid Society, which is a school for underprivileged hearing impaired children in Bangalore. So along with funding, I also spent a lot of time with the children themselves, because their principal believed that there was a lot that we could do in encouraging them to realize that just because they were hearing impaired doesn't mean that they had to give up on their dreams, and doesn't mean that there were some fields that were closed off to them. After this, I also started a sign language week at my school, where first I started working with some volunteers, and we taught volunteers signs, some basic signs that most people should know. And they went and taught all of their peers in the classroom setting. And this way we covered over 200 children who knew basic signs. And there were lots of children from my school coming up to me and asking me signs for other things as well. So I hope to expand to more schools, and I'm extremely grateful for this recognition that I'm receiving over here today. I hope to reach more educational institutions through this networking opportunity, and I'm extremely grateful for this chance to spread more awareness about my project. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Alankrita. That's a really noble initiative that you're doing. Thank you so much. And congrats on being one of the winners. All right, next we'll move on to Divya and Ranan. Let's hear about their project 4 Sparks.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. We are Divya and Ranan, students of grade 10 from National Public School, Koramangala, Bangalore, with our project as part of the 1M1V initiative, 4 Sparks. We started our project in October of 2021.
Our aim is to make learning friendly, inclusive, and job-oriented to empower underprivileged children for upward social mobility. As the name 4 Sparks suggests, we had 4 goals or sparks in mind when we first undertook this task. The first spark was to infuse a spirit of grit in a logically complex task. We taught the children how to solve the Rubik's Cube, and in over 10 sessions, 50 students moved from "no, this is beyond me," to "I can finally solve it in less than a minute now." The second spark was for them to develop curiosity about different professions. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we conducted online sessions for about 100 students on professional quizzes about how different types of jobs, such as engineers and researchers, impact society. The third spark was to create a scientific temper. On Science Day, we conducted fun-filled experiments in 3 government schools across Bangalore. We saw the students really enjoy the liquid nitrogen experiments, and we even had many of them come up to us after these sessions and tell us how they now aspire to become scientists themselves. For the fourth spark, each student was asked to teach any of the 3 sparks to another friend or student, thereby creating a domino effect.
So we raised over 2 lakhs through our fundraiser. With the help of this money, we were able to provide science labs of 3 government schools with better equipment. We also donated 1,500 books to 5 different schools, and in all, we have impacted over 1,000 students. We want to thank the 1M1V Foundation and the International We Serve Foundation for this opportunity. The money that we received will help us expand our project to other schools and enhance their science labs. This in turn gives the opportunity to more students of underprivileged schools to take part in practical learning. This recognition will also be good in helping us reach out to other schools across Bangalore and India. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Fantastic, Divya and Ranan, and excellent job nurturing the scientific talent of India for tomorrow. Thank you so much and congrats. Okay, let's move on to our next winner, which is Mishant Jain. Mishant, over to you and tell us more about your project Sampurti.
Let me begin with a few facts that moved me, and it was the main reason I started my initiative. Every 13 seconds, a child dies from the effects of hunger. Up to 828 million people are going hungry, whilst there's enough food, knowledge, and resources for all. Good evening, everybody. My name is Nishan Jain, and I'm a 10th grader at NAFL Bangalore. I'm also the founder of Project Sampurti. Sampurti by itself means fulfillment, and here at Sampurti, we wish to fulfill man's most basic needs, food and nourishment. We aim not only to provide quality food to the underprivileged and needy, but also help give them their very well deserved dignity so that they don't have to knock on car doors and windows and beg for food. We wish to eradicate hunger and also spread awareness about this topic. We're trying to achieve our goal by setting up community shelves in and around Bangalore, from where the needy can come, pick up food from their own without any kind of questioning. We started Sampurti back in 2020 during the pandemic. Just like Manav sir mentioned, this was the real time when we needed to help the society, not only the underprivileged, but also the daily wage laborers who lost their daily income. Since then, we've set up 2 community shelves and provided more than 23,000 meals to the needy, and most importantly, without questioning their dignity. We've also been able to spread awareness about the same through over 500 social media word spreaders. But now this journey wasn't that easy. It was filled with ups and downs, but it was truly a memorable one. We're still working towards the project's sustainability and scalability, and today's award and recognition will not only encourage me to do more, but also help me reach a larger audience, and at the same time spread awareness about this major problem of chronic hunger. Thanking 1M1B and the We Serve Foundation for this exciting opportunity. Thank you.
Excellent job, Mishant, and no easy task providing 23,000 plus meals to the needy. Excellent. I'm sure we're all really inspired by the effort done by these students. And with that, let's listen to what our next future leader has done. Sorry. Yeah, let's listen to Himaja next.
Hi, everyone. I am Himaja Rangisetti, a 12th grader from Shirek International School, and my project Swayam, started in 2020, aims to reduce loneliness amongst the elderly and bring joy into their lives by helping them rediscover their passion. The reason I chose this particular project is because of my grandmother. I grew up around her, learning how to knit, listening to her tell me stories. We used to have a lot of fun together. But as I grew older, I couldn't spend as much time as I used to with her, due to which she grew lonely and longed for company. That's when I decided that I needed to do something for her. Swayam is a platform that aims to engage the elderly by helping them rediscover their passion, be it cooking, gardening, or handicrafts. The idea is to use their skills to make products out of whatever they're passionate about and sell these products in communities and corporates, giving them a monetary benefit. The work we've done so far is that we've conducted 50 plus interviews, held 3 virtual interactive game sessions that included games like Antakshari and Tambola. We raised 50,000 during the first COVID lockdown to supply groceries and other essentials to old age homes. We initiated Swayam with both our grandmothers and went on to include many other women while launching products like pickles, powders, and online tuitions. We interacted with seniors at old age homes to gain a deeper insight into their lives and experiences living at an old age home and conducted small activities and games to engage them. Overall, I've impacted close to 300 plus seniors. Our future plans include to introduce volunteering opportunities for high schoolers and create an interactive community of seniors. I'm grateful to receive the encouragement and recognition from this award today that will help Project Swayam reach a wider audience. Thank you.
That's fantastic, Himaja, bringing smiles to the lives of the elderly. Excellent initiative. Okay, let's listen to the next one. Bhavna and Advika, who are doing Project Pink.
Hi everyone, I'm Advika.
And I'm Bhavna, and we are Project Pink.
Project Pink is an initiative we started to fight against street harassment in India. The idea that on a daily, women deal with such a tired issue was enough to make our blood boil, and on an especially late night last June, we reached the conclusion that we must help them fight this battle. Surely, this was one of the most significant conversations of our lives, and while it took place on a swing set, we agreed that teaching people to protect themselves is not always the most effective route to eradicate an issue like sexual assault. A lot of women have different reactions to the situations and are not always prepared to defend themselves. However, people watching the incident could be of help to derail it. This is where we use a bystander intervention. It's a proven methodology based around the idea that helping someone in trouble makes the situation better for them. We use the 5 Ds, which are distract, delegate, document, direct, and delay, to help teenagers safely respond to street harassment.
So far, we have conducted workshops with over 250 high schoolers and trained them with the 5Ds. Our interactive sessions and real-life examples and scenarios that we shared equip them and prepare them for when they face such situations in real life. During the Sexual Assault Awareness Month, we have reached to over 100 people to do awareness campaigns. We also conducted a human library event where survivors of sexual violence were able to share their story and sensitize people. We would love to thank the WeServe Foundation and 1M1B for giving us this opportunity and recognition, which would help expand our project and take it further.
This is why we're fighting for a change, for our sisters, daughters, friends, our mothers, so that we can live in a world where every girl has the freedom to do what she wants and not be scared.
Project Pink is a fight for the world to reach there. Let's join hands to turn the world pink. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats on the fantastic job, Bhavna and Advika. A really important project to keep our society safer. Thank you so much and congrats on the win. Let's next listen in to Renee, who is tackling the problem of dying lakes in Bangalore. Renee, over to you.
Thank you, Safan. Hi, everyone. I'm Renee, a student of grade 11 and the founder of Project About Time. The earliest memory I have of the lake that I live next to is an image of the bar-headed geese that would come every monsoon, paddling around the grey waters of Dodnakundi Lake as my family and I watched from our balcony. Fast forward to 2021. Birds that visited the lake were deterred by the thick green carpet of algae that covered its surface. Sewage and eutrophication were the main reasons behind this. I started Project About Time back in March of 2021, and since then, it has grown to more than I could have ever imagined. I have fundraised, conducted cleanup drives at the lake, held awareness sessions, collected more than 80 kgs of garbage, collaborated with organizations like Namma Bengaluru Foundation and Rotary Club, as well as individuals like cartoonist and wildlife enthusiast Rohan Chakravarti. Not only has the impact and response I have received been overwhelmingly positive, but this endeavor has opened several new doors for me. The change in diversity of bird species I noticed at the lake led me to develop an app that predicts quality of water at a lake by detecting and counting number of bird species at the lake through recorded audio. The research that I did on this won me the chance of presenting my paper and app at the IRIS National Fair in Delhi this past weekend. Networking opportunities like these, where I'm exposed to inspirational, like-minded youth who use their passion to drive change, are when I am reminded of why exactly I started About Time, and that is to lead by example. I have so many more ideas that I'm excited to implement, and numerous suggestions and people reaching out to help. This award and prize money will only catalyze our impact. This is just the beginning. Thank you.
You definitely are leading by example, Renee, and lovely to hear how you've not stopped the work and you've now actually developed a mobile app using machine learning to predict the water quality. So excellent job. And thank you for sharing this with us. Congrats. Okay, and now let's listen into Ananya Maldi.
Why should a period put a full stop to education? Hi, I'm Ananya, a grade 10 student and the founder of Project Pragati. Did you know that every year in India, 23 million girls drop out of school when they get their period? Yes, 23 million. Project Pragati helps educate girls in rural India and provide them with the menstrual care facilities that they need to reduce period-related school absenteeism and dropouts. Project Pragati is primarily based in the state of Gujarat. Based on interviews with girls there and talks with principals of schools, I found out the specific issues the people there were facing. I then developed a comprehensive curriculum on menstrual health in the local language, covering vital topics such as period biology and stigma. Since November 2020, I have educated over 1,020 girls in villages at the absolute grassroots levels of India, teaching them personally in their own language. I have reached out to some of the most marginalized communities in India as well, which are the salt pan workers and the fisher folk in Kutch in Gujarat. With the help of the rupees 6,10,000 that I raised through my fundraiser, I have distributed over 60,000 compostable sanitary napkins till date. On ground, I found that most women in these areas struggle with disposal of their sanitary pads. And to help them with this, I have gotten sanitary napkin incinerators installed in 2 schools. For sustainability, I am identifying young girls from these schools and preparing them to conduct their own awareness sessions within their schools. They can, in turn, prepare the next set of students, and thus the spread of knowledge never stops. I would like to thank 1M1B and the WeServe Foundation for providing me with this opportunity and helping me gain more reach for my project. The money received can sponsor the sanitary needs of 7 girls for a whole year. You can find us on social media at the handle Project Pragati or visit our website at projectpragati.in to get involved. So, while a period might be the end of a sentence, it is time for us to take collective action to ensure that it is not the end of a girl's schooling. Thank you.
Excellent, Annie. You truly are an inspiration, and congrats on the fantastic job. And we hope you keep continuing the good work. Thank you so much. And now we have the team of Ananya Seth and Anupama Rao talking to us about Project Udan.
Let me share a story about a young woman pregnant with triplets who didn't have a valid health insurance policy. At term, just before delivery, complications arose. Fearing bankruptcy, she chose to stay at home. All 3 healthy young babies died. Hi, we are Ananya and Anupama, 2 11th graders, and we started Project Udan back in 2020. Project Udan provides health insurance to economically disadvantaged women while raising awareness on the subject.
Very first woman we helped, who also inspired us to start this journey, was Ambuja Auntie, my house help. Unfortunately, she met with a car accident, but my parents could support her with her treatment. We cannot imagine what would have happened if no one was there to take care of her. Project Udan helps women like Ambuja Auntie by educating them on health insurance and then connecting them to insurance companies to get these policies. So far, we have provided insurance to over 80 women, including domestic workers and the women from rural villages of India. We have done this in partnership with Bajaj Alliance and the Oriental Insurance Company. We raised 33,000 rupees to help pay for the premium for these health insurance policies worth over 175 lakh rupees. We conducted 3 awareness sessions impacting over 300 students and teachers at our school, NAFL, by encouraging them to get insurance for their households.
We are extremely grateful to 1M1B and the WeServe Foundation for this recognition. It will allow us to expand our reach and increase awareness in health insurance and its importance to many women. Moreover, to make our project sustainable and have a better reach, we will identify and train women in the process of conducting awareness sessions and availing policies so that they can further spread our project in their community at the grassroots level. Life is precious. This post-pandemic world has brought the uncertainties of life into focus. Health is of the utmost importance, and healthcare is an urgent need.
We want to see a world where every woman has access to affordable healthcare to lead a safe, secure, and independent life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls, and keep up the good work. Okay, we're coming towards the end of the presentations. We have Arav next.
Hello, my name is Arav Khandelwal. I'm a 10th grade student living in Gurgaon, India. Right now, 6 out of 10 children are not achieving the basic proficiency in reading and mathematics. This has been defined as the learning poverty by World Bank. To solve this global learning deficit, I have created my project, Joy of Learning. In my project, I provide fun games and activities to underprivileged children in areas such as literacy and numeracy development. I do this through partnerships with various organizations, NGOs, and government schools. To date, I have impacted over 700 children, and I have held over 45 workshops and donated over 50 games. This award will help me gain more traction towards my project and help me partner up with more NGOs and organizations. I want to thank the We Serve Foundation and 1M1B. Thank you.
Thank you, Arav, and congrats on winning the award. Coming to the last presentation, unfortunately, Anvita could not join us. She's on a school trip and she sent a video talking about her impact. So let me just play that.
Hi, my name is Anvita Kolipara and I'm the founder of Project Soleju. Did you know that according to official UN documentation, by 2030, 670 million people, that's 8% of the world's population, still won't have access to energy? That's an unimaginable number. Additionally, every time I visit my grandparents, they live in a village in Andhra Pradesh, I see the adverse effects that lack of access to continuous energy has on children. For example, they aren't even able to do things as simple as study at night. That's why I started Project Soleju. Project Soleju aims to enable better access to energy for low-income rural families in villages across India. I do this through a 4-stage action plan. The first 2 stages are conducting in-person and online workshops on solar power, through which I inform children about the importance of solar power, especially taking India's energy context into consideration. Then I offer sessions through which I help students build their own solar-powered lamps that they can use at home to do things as simple as study at night. Currently, I'm working towards providing complete solar power systems to complete communal study spaces such as schools and villages. So far, I have raised 4 lakhs in funding, and I've impacted 300 students and provided 300 lamps. I've done this across 10 sessions in 3 schools across Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, and this has been through collaborations with UNICEF, Sunbird Trust, Teach for India, the Energy Swaraj Foundation, and more. With the 5,000 rupees that I received from this award, I can provide 10 rural children with solar-powered lamps. Thank you so much for empowering me. Let's light up lives, one solar panel at a time. Thank you. Hi.
Right. With that, we've come to the end of the presentations by our winners. So congrats to all our winners. And I'm sure it's left all of us inspired what these young teenagers can achieve in a short span of time. So, sir, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Matthew, for explaining the process of empowering youth, and also a huge congratulations to all the student awardees for sharing your work. And I'm sure that your work is very inspiring to everybody, and we wish you the very best going forward. Thank you. I'd like now to call upon Dr. M.S. Vijay, President and founder of the International We Serve Foundation. He was a gastroenterologist for quite some time in his life, but he suddenly switched gears completely, and with the help of and guidance of Dr. Abdul Kalam, started the International We Serve Foundation. He's a one-man show for making sure that he doesn't take no for an answer, and very driven in what he's trying to achieve. So please welcome Dr. M.S. Vijay.
Friends, I'm going to share my screen. Can you see this?
Yes.
You know, Dr. Kalam always talked to all the 20+ million students all over the world that what can I do for you should be their thinking all the time. In 2021, a very young 5-year-old child overheard a podcast talking about refugees. He talked to his mom. What are refugees? What is it? So his mom explained to him what it is, and he felt very sad that children would be suffering with this problem of being dislocated. He decided to do something about it. He wanted to collect his own items and asked his mom, can we do something? Can you please help these children in our area? So his mom really, took it very seriously and went to the local organization called Lutheran Social Services of Northeast Florida, and was able to arrange those items which her son collected to give to the refugees from Afghanistan at that time. About a year later, 6-year-old child heard about the Ukrainian children in his area being refugees. So once again, he decided to do something about it. Didn't want anything about his birthday, but decided to do some fundraising by providing certain T-shirts and other cookies and all that. With the funds he raised, he was able to provide enormous amount of items to the Ukrainian children. And he and his friends joined together and decorated all these things. Can you imagine a 5-year-old and at the age of 6? Now he's about 7. When I talked to our trustees about it, they just couldn't believe it. Awesome, amazing, must recognize. The mother deserves equal credit. Great inspiration. This is the kind of comments I got. Here you see this wonderful, amazing child who is the leader for the entire world, how we should live. The Board of Trustees salute and thank Jahan Saumil Oza, his friends, Mom Neetal, Dad Saumil, his grandparents, and the donors who are helping him, along with the Lutheran Social Service of Northeast Florida, for supporting and helping the refugees, including the children. I'm truly honored, and it's my personal pleasure that on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the International We Serve Foundation, Inc., to confer on Jahan Saumil Oza the 2023 International Youth Volunteer Award and Citation on January 26, 2023. Isn't it amazing what we have heard from so many students and this youngster showing the grown-ups in this world how we should live? Thank you for giving me the time to share this incredible story of Jahan, and hope lots and lots of us, whether we are young or old, get inspired by him. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. That was certainly very inspiring and a very special recognition to Jahan. Congratulations again, Jahan. Very nice.
Vinny, if I may request you, let's request Jonathan, the chair of 1MMB, to say a few words before we call on the next guest. Jonathan, could you join us?
Certainly. Thank you, Dr. Vijay. Happy Republic Day, everyone. And thank you for your honoring of this program. Safin, great job in hosting the students. Students, great job presenting yourselves. You know, you could easily forget that these are younger people. You know, if you replay in your minds these presentations and you compare them to global news correspondents, if you compare them to the speakers at the United Nations, communicators who touch our lives on global issues, they're right up there in quality, clarity, impact. It's most inspiring, and I invite each and every person on this in this Zoom celebration, whether you're 10, 20, 30, 80, 100 years old, to let that inspiration seep into your soul and motivate you to make a difference and reach out to others and connect us as we expand 1 million for 1 billion globally. Thanks so much for letting me speak today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan, for those wonderful words. Appreciate your comments. Moving along, Dr. Swati Subodh is the co-founder of the 1M1B Foundation, where she is part of developing healthcare projects through youth-led initiatives. She's a scientist by education and healthcare professional in the fields of infectious diseases with nearly 20 years of work experience in the field. She leads various national programs in antimicrobial resistance at a leading bioinnovation hub in an adjunct faculty at the Public Health Foundation of India, founder and creative director of Adyantara, and is the columnist of leading science media platforms. She is a vice chair and member of the ethics committee at the National Institute and has been part of a curriculum development mentorship programs for undergraduates and graduate programs at different Indian universities. Swati is a firm believer in translational science research and development of application at the last mile for accessible and affordable healthcare. Please welcome Dr. Swati Subodh to the podium.
Thank you. Good morning, good evening, respected Chancellor Dr. Kumle Subaswamy, Mr. Vinod Venugopal, Dr. M.S. Vijay, Professor Sita Subramaniam, members of the VServe Foundation, guests and viewers who have joined us for the Dr.A.p.j.Abdulklam 2023 Youth Volunteer Awards. Wishing you all a very happy 74th Republic Day, and as we mentioned in the beginning, the very first day of spring, celebrated as Vasant Panchami. On behalf of the 1M1B Foundation, I thank you for the recognition and encouragement bestowed on the 1M1B future leaders today. So congratulations to our future leaders, and also to dear Jahan Oza for the recognition on the brilliant work. 1M1B Foundation's endeavor of promoting social impact through various youth-led activities has completed 8 years, going on to the 9th year. And in a very short time period, our young leaders have demonstrated what can be achieved if you, quote unquote, be the change you want to see in the world. The work of the future leaders has been an inspiration to youth around the world and to adults alike. They have demonstrated themselves to be worthy role models for many. With our world facing pressing challenges like the climate crisis, lack of food security, and others, in addition to the existing global challenges, our youth will be at the forefront of creating, scaling, and sustaining solutions. It is thus imperative to support such initiatives that create positive impact, not just because they are led by young global citizens, but because the future of humanity and of life per se might depend on it. 1M1B has been able to curate and support such initiatives through our enabling network and partnerships. The annual showcase that we were speaking about earlier showcases most of the impactful projects at the United Nations headquarters at New York, and is a celebration of the undying spirit of not giving up against all odds. Many of our young change makers have continued their projects beyond their time in the Future Leaders program, while others have handed over their projects to other youth leaders to ensure that the work is carried forward. 1M1B has supported in both these cases and remains a pivotal enabler to empower. Aligning with individuals and organizations that share the same value system has always been our priority. We are at this stage, and that we can be really proud of, aside from the conviction of the 1M1B family, it is also because of the individuals and partners who have supported and trusted us over the years. Dr. Vijay here has been cheering us on, watching our journey keenly for the past almost 8 years now. And thus moving forward, we look forward to deeper engagements with the VServe Foundation. Last year, Dr. Vijay accepted our invitation to be a panelist at the 6th Activate Impact Summit at the UN and delivered an energizing talk. This year, we hope to support and showcase many more youth leading change in their communities through joint initiatives with the VServe Foundation, and also build more ways to engage. I'll end with a quote by Dr. Abdul Kalam: "Knowledge with action converts adversity into prosperity." And that is what we have believed and followed for so many years. To conclude, we thank you for your time and for the encouragement. Namaskar.
Vinny, may I ask our chief guest to say a few words now that he has heard these children?
Sure.
Dr. Swami, could you please share with us your comments?
Just one word, inspiring. The word has been applied here. I think that it's really absolutely rewarding to see youth taking the leadership mantle. And one other thing I'll say, Dr. Vijay, our mutual friend and hero, Dr. Abdul Kalam, would have been so proud of this group of students and the impact that they have really brought already in such an early stage of their lives. So again, very happy to be a part of this event and really recognizing this outstanding youth. Thank you, Dr. Vijay.
Vinny, please.
Thank you, Dr. Swami. And also I appreciate all the comments, Dr. Swati, that you just made. So with that, I'm going to call upon Professor Sita Subramaniam for concluding this session. Dr.
Good evening, people in India, and good morning to everyone in the US. I'm Sita Subramanian. I'm a board member of the International Visa Foundation. On behalf of our CEO, Dr. Vijay, and chairman of the board, Vinod Venugopal, and all the distinguished members of the board, I thank all of you for attending today's ceremony, Dr. Abdul Kalam Youth Volunteer Awards. What an amazing group of students, youngsters. I have, like Dr. Swami, I have been teaching young students for many, many, many years. And I'm totally inspired in wanting to do more, just like the ones you have all been talking about. Thank you so much for an amazing work that you have been doing. It's hard work, especially thanks to all of the parents and teachers and principals who have guided you, helped you to get to this level and succeed in such a wonderful manner. Keep doing what you're doing and ask for help. And they say no, you know what the answer is. So continue, keep doing that. Amazing, amazing youngsters. Especially the international awardee, Jahan, a young person doing excellent work. I am just so awed by all this. And I want to, not forgetting to thank the board member, co-founders, Mr. Manoj Subodh and Dr. Swati Subodh, Foundation, 1M for 1 Billion People Foundation, for coordinating this presentation and giving us these awardees, excellent youngsters. I'm speechless. I just don't know what else to say. Thank you for your excellent work that you have in helping these youngsters in your leadership program. And of course, Dr. Kumbli Subaswamy, thank you for your excellent, inspiring speech to all of us and the youngsters, and looking forward to seeing more of these youngsters from India continuing these kind of work. Finally, I want to thank everybody passing on from what you're doing to other people and helping so that the easing of the lives of the needy people of every country in the world. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, shall
With
we?
that, we conclude our session today. Thank you very much.
God bless you all. Thank you very much for joining us. And all the youngsters, God bless you. God bless you. Thank you, Mano. Thank you, Swati. Thank you, Safin. Thank you, Jonathan. Amazing. God bless you. Thank you. We'll stop the session. Okay.
Thank you.